Hello everybody and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. That sounds really weird to me. Anyways, last time we got our adventure started off by getting our very first Pokemon. This adorable little Eevee. Look how cute he is. We named him Taco, by the way. And we also gotta start off our adventure by, exploring other areas and having our first Pokemon battle to begin with. And today, guys, we're gonna be heading our ways off back to our road to Viridian City. So, like I said before, Pokemon catching in this game is completely different, but the battles are quite the same. Thanks for helping me out with that parcel. The Pokemart is a convenient chain for selling all sorts of items, so please come visit us. Oh, I know. I'll give you a sample. Here you go. And we got ourselves a Potion, or a potion, that is what they're called. Your Pokemon may take damage when you battle other trainers. Be sure to use a potion on them if that happens. I will be sure to notify that. So yeah, like I said, there are lots and lots of different Pokemon to catch. And this game is solely based on the original 150. Technically 153, but we'll get to that point when we get to that point. Or, well, yeah, 153. But anyways, let's go ahead and start off with our bios a little bit. Yes, I said bios. I have special bios for all Pokemon that you can catch here that are catchable. And you want to know how well they perform, right? So, why don't we go ahead and get started off by just learning about how these Pokemon actually perform for you, should you want to add them to your team. First off, we got Pidgey. It's the classic traditional normal flying type Pokemon that has average stats and everything. Nothing really too spectacular in that ways whatsoever. Pidgey does have a decent amount of speed once it's fully evolved, as it got faster in the last generation, so at least does have some nice, and yeah, there go I am with bad shoddy work around there. Once fully evolved, has good speed, and it is fairly bulky in a lot of different ways, and is something that can be useful to you. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for this because I have no time for this. In a lot of ways, can be helpful to you as a starter towards Pokemon. It is easily outclassed in a lot of ways, but Pidgey is reliable enough. I do recommend not catching it as a Pidgey if you want to raise it up from a Pidgey. I would suggest wait until its evolved form Pidgeotto becomes catchable, because Pidgey's moves to start off with are pretty terrible. It's not until once Pidgeotto becomes catchable in the wild that actually becomes helpful to you, as it'll learn some good moves that way. So keep that in mind when you want to use it. Rattata up here is next up, and this is a pure normal type Pokemon, tried and true. It's pretty average. It starts off as a physical sweeper in many ways because it's got high attack, high speed. Nothing else too special about it right there. And yay, great capture right there. Rattata also learns a bunch of normal and dark type moves, which dark really isn't that quite necessary of an overused type to deal with, but at least it is nice to have in some cases, since there aren't a whole lot of dark type Pokemon in Kanto to begin with, as you probably would have expected to begin with. Again, not the super best Pokemon out there. Again, there are a ton of better normal types out there, and just so you know, no Pokemon have abilities in this game, so Rattata's kind of nerfed a lot because it doesn't have guts for its ability in this game, so kind of a shame for that. If abilities were available in this game, then yeah, I would totally recommend you pick one up, but alas, that is not the case here, so I would suggest going for a different normal type if it was for me. Next up here is Bellsprout. This one is only available in Let's Go Eevee. There is another one available in Let's Go Pikachu, but we'll get to that one when we get to that one. Bellsprout, number 69, is a grass poison type mixed attacker, tried and true. It's pretty good at what it can do for the most part, though as you expect early on, it's pretty frail because its defenses are so craptastic. Though as it grows up, it does learn some nice moves, and grass poison is a viable defensive type in many situations. You might not expect something so frail to be so helpful with how scrawny this thing looks, but yeah, it can perform in a lot of different ways. Granted, the moves that it can learn aren't available to it for a while, but it will be useful to you in a lot of situations. And in Pikachu version, you can find Oddish. It's basically a special defensive counterpart to Bellsprouts, where it's also a grass poison type and learns a lot of special moves, but not meant for offense, and more so for defense, as it learns a bunch of powder moves as well, to put enemies to sleep, poison them, paralyze them, all that kind of cool stuff right there. I will say that Oddish is a bit too slow for my likings, especially once it's fully evolved, which you're going to need a Leaf Stone to fully evolve. Again, it's not a super spectacular Pokemon, but at least Grass Poison is nice and defensive, which really works out for his defensive playstyle in a lot of ways. And Mega Drain was actually buffed in this game for whatever reason, since Giga Drain isn't available in this game at all. What is wrong with you people not giving us Giga Drain in this game? What the hell is wrong with you? But if you're playing Pikachu version and you want an early game grass type Pokemon, this is actually not too bad of an option, as it starts off with Absorb and Acid, which aren't great, but at least that's something. And that's it. That's all the Pokemon that you can catch for right now. So, how's about we go ahead and try to cross paths with this guy, who's all like, "Oh, trainer's eyes have met. I'll battle you with my favorite Pokemon." Trainer battles give you prize monies, as well as more experience when you fight them, because, well, these Pokemon have been properly trained by, well, yeah, trainers, if that wasn't expected. And yes, that looks totally awesome. You know what's funny? For a second, I thought my Eevee was actually going to be shiny because it looks a little brighter, but apparently it's not, because it doesn't go with the whole sparkle shing type of thing. But it would have been damn awesome if it actually was that. That would have been really, really, really cool. And our defenses have failed, because great. So you know what? We're just going to go ahead with a simple Quick Attack. And boom. Quick Attack is a priority move, so always go first for some good, nice physical 40 power damage. And yes, as you can see, I'm a huge nerd when it comes to Pokemon, because I love Pokemon with all my precious hearts. So, yay. We defeated youngster Ronnie! You said you wanted to battle us, well guess what? It was a mistake for you to battle me, ha 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 ha! I hope you like the taste of blood. No, I'm just kidding, I wouldn't do that. Anyways, we're back over here to Viridian City! Huh? You look pretty pleased about something, Charlie. Oh, you beat another trainer? Good job! Well, since we're on the topic, the Pokemon you sent into battle might have lost some HP or PP. You should take them to the PC, or Pokemon Center, and get them healed up. It doesn't cost any money, and doesn't take long at all either. Just remember, heal up after battles. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention to you that Pokemon Centers don't have PCs anymore. PCs are not a thing in this game in particular because, well, you have a Pokemon box, so what is the point of having a PC anyways if they're just right there on the spot for you, you know? I mean, I get it for main series games to have that, and Sword or Shield, but they completely abolished the PC once Scarlet and Violet came into play here. So yeah, there is the awesomeness that is indeed the Pokemon Center. You can heal your Pokemon anytime you want for free! And meet the lovely Nurse Joy, who I personally think looks really cute in this game. Did you know there are actually 2 kinds of caterpillar Pokemon? Yes. Oh, then good. Well, what are you gonna say if I said no? Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch that your Pokemon aren't hit with Weedle's poison sting. Yes, that's something you gotta watch out for, is status conditions, which are always a thing. We can now have access to the Pokemon, which now we can purchase items and stuff. I got to buy some potions. You never know when your Pokemon will need quick healing. I wonder if that Pokemon guy is gonna stay on Route 1 forever. Who knows? The shop does good business in Paralyze Heals, I've heard. Or Paralyze, as it was in earlier games. So you got $3,000, or 3,000 Pokedollars, because this is based on yen. You can buy yourself some more Pokeballs if you want to, but we don't need any right now because I've wasted like 10 of them because I'm just so bad with aiming. Hooray! Potions you got here that will heal 20 HP. Antidotes will heal poison. They're very cheap. Well, actually, no, never mind. They're more expensive in this game since they're usually 100. And now it's Pokeballs that are cheaper. You got Burn Heals that will heal Burn, Ice Heals to heal Freeze, Awakening to heal Sleep, and Paralyzed Heals to heal Paralysis, obviously. I'll be going over each status condition once we get to each of them, but just know that these can be pretty helpful at times, but maybe you want to buy some antidotes for yourself if you so wish. Alright, moving on. What do you got, old man? Can I talk to you? Yo there, kid from Pallet Town. Oh, you got nothing to say? I can't sit on a bench! How dare it not allow me to sit on a bench? Oh, don't you just miss the days of X and Y where you could just sit on a bench? Remember how hype that was and how overly done that was? That was insane. To be a kid again. Or to be 21 again, because I was 21 when that game came out. If you walk around with your Pokemon and let them battle, they'll grow to love you even more. Aw, thanks. Phew, I'm trying to memorize all my notes. All your notes. When studying about Pokemon types, Eevee is a normal type. It doesn't have too many weaknesses, but it is weak against fighting type moves. It is also immune. Normal types are also immune to ghost type moves. So that's also a nice little catch right there. Okay, everyone, where can you find information that is useful for trainers? That's right, in this classroom. You can find it on the blackboard or in the books. Please read bulletin boards for trainer tips in towns and cities too. It's like she's talking to me and not to her classmates. Does that show how much she loves her students? I guess. That blackboard will tell you more about status conditions, but again, we'll be going over those when we actually encounter status conditions. Right over here is a cutting tree, but we can't get to that right now because, you know, obvious if it's following the rules of red and blue. And also yellow. This Pokemon gym is always closed. I wonder who the gym leader is. I want to know too. The doors to the Viridian Pokemon gym are locked tight. I like it nice and tight. Okay, what? And there's just nothing else it says about it right there. Wow, your Pokemon is riding on you? That's super cute, but I think my Pokemon would be a bit too heavy for me. That's why I have it walk with me instead. Oddly. Check your party in the main menu and choose a Pokemon to take out its Pokeball, and it will walk with you. It's just so adorable to see them. Here, let me do it for you. Yep, you get to have a Bellsprout just running around with you, and honestly, it looks quite weird. Look at how Bellsprout just like runs around. That's just so funny. Doodly 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 doo. You even talk to your Pokemon too, just like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's kind of nice that they actually brought this back in this game, but also in Diamond and Pearl remakes. But you know, we don't talk about those games. What else is there to do here around Viridian City? I want to show off everything that I possibly can before moving on here. Those Pokeballs you've got. Yeah, Pokemon, don't you? It's great you can carry and use your Pokemon anytime, anywhere. Yes, indeed it is. Now, I believe around here, you can go down to this spot, and as you can see, Eevee's tail starts to move around. That's because Eevee's tail is a good indicator that there will be a hidden item around here. So, if you feel like there's something hidden around here, always check Eevee's tail, because it'll be whacking it constantly as your dowsing machine in a way. So Eevee on top of your head can act as a dowsing machine. Here we are on Route 22, which I guess you could consider a bit of an optional area to go to. This area will actually take you to a special place called the Pokemon League, and also an item which is going to be 5 Pokeballs. Alright, cool. You don't really need to buy Pokeballs too often. Consider the fact that they're plentiful on the ground, and whenever you catch a Pokemon or defeat trainers, which is actually kind of hilarious. No Pokemon that are available to us yet right now. Well, actually, there are new Pokemon for us to catch in this area, but we can't get to them to appear yet. I don't know why. Oh, hey, there you go. We can now encounter some Pokemon! Finally. There are 3 new Pokemon that you can actually find in this area. They are a Spearow, which is yet another noble and flying type Pokemon. And speaking of the devil, there's one right there. I consider Spearow a bit of a lighter, faster, more aggressive Pidgeot, even though nowadays Pidgeot is more faster than Fearow, but whatever. It does learn a little bit less moves than the Pidgeline does, but it does do more damage, and you know, still learns some decent enough moves that the Pidgeline can also learn as well. If you want something fast really early on that can learn some great moves early on too, I guess Spearow can be the one for you, because it actually utilizes attack stat very well compared to Pidgey that has to wait until it becomes a Pidgeotto to do that to begin with. So, if you want an early flying type Pokemon, I would definitely recommend that you catch a Spearow instead. But hey, what do I know? That's just me. Isn't that right, good old Spearow? Next up, we actually have Nidorans, or rather, two versions of Nidorans. You got the female and the males. Let's start off with the male one first. It is a poison-type Pokemon that learns something that's not poison-type. Learns a bunch of normal-type moves for the most part, and a lot of its poison and fighting-type moves as well. But nothing really all that spectacular to begin with. I'd say that Nidoran female is the more defensive of them because of how its stats go on. Once fully evolved, it becomes a poison and ground type Pokemon, which is great offensively, especially for the new fairy type that got introduced in this game. And on top of that, it learns many spectacular moves that you might not expect to begin with. So if you want something that has some good move versatility as you level it up, hey, that's a great option for it too. It's also decently offensive to begin with, and while it doesn't do it as much damage, at least it's good at taking hits, so that might be something for you as well. As for its male counterpart, Nidoran male, it also becomes a poison and ground type once fully evolved, and just like Nidoran female, has very good move versatility. As you also might expect, this is the more offensive counterpart to Nidoran female, who is more defensive. Personally, I'm more so on the lines of more offense because his attack stat is very nice once fully evolved. In fact, it got an attack buff in this game, or at least in this generation, so that's actually pretty nice to see. Again, move versatility is very nice, and you really can't go wrong with either Nidorans. I find them to be both very useful in a lot of situations, so all in all, you just have to ask yourself if you want something that can take hits very well, or if you just want something with more raw power, as well as some good speed for them. And speaking of, here is Nidoran male! Again, this is not going to be my team member. I just want to catch it just to be added to my Pokedex and just be like, hey, look, I caught it! And look at that! It was a great capture! That's great! I just ended up sounding like Tony the Tiger now, didn't I? Oh well, that's just me. Also, as you might not expect, the encounter rates between Nidoran male and Nidoran female are actually different depending on the versions. I believe Nidoran male is more common in this game, and Nidoran females are more common in Pikachu version. Let's go ahead and tuck that away in our cute little Pokemon box. Now there is also a, oh hey, check it out, there's a Nidoran female right there. Sweet! I got both of them within like one after another. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and catch it. That was a great throw right there. Alright, come on. Hacha! Oh yes, that's something that Pokemon can sometimes do. Is they have little animations to stop you from using your Pokeballs on you. Hey, that was an excellent catch right there. I like it. Boom. You caught the Nidoran person. Sorry, that's just what the female sign always looks like to me. It just looks like a person. Like that's like the top of a stick person to me. Alright, there is both the Nidorans under our Pokedex. Sweet. Like I said, I'm not going for every single Pokemon and trying to fully complete the Pokedex. I'm just catching them as I go along with them. But the other reason why I wanted to bring you over to Route 22 is this. Oh, hey, Charlie. You're hoping to make it to the Pokemon League someday, too. That's where you can battle the strongest of all Pokemon trainers. The ones they call the Elite Four. I was hoping maybe I could get a glimpse of him, but the guard at the gate wouldn't even let me pass without any badges for Pokemon gyms. Guess I'll just have to get there the long way, by battling and getting strong. So Charlie, guess that means it's on. Alrighty. You want to bring it on? Well, I guess it's on. Like Donkey Kong. Hey, don't mention that Smash Brothers trainer. I wanted to be in Smash. Well, too bad, boy. Too bad. Alright, so now Trace has an additional Pokemon on his side. He starts off with a level 3 Pidgey, being a normal flying type, knowing Tackle and Sand Attack. Yeah, Trace really isn't that great of a trainer in this game. He's kind of like, in some ways. Not great, but they give you some sort of a challenge. I mean, just look how little damage that Trace just did to me there. I mean, all that spectacular. And boom. Down goes your Pidgey right there. Down you go. We're almost up to level 9, which is great. So that's where I want to be. And it's going to bring us next Pokemon, which is going to be Pikachu, his star player. It is level 7 electric type, and it's going to have Thunder Shock and Quick Attack, just like it did in the first game. Our first battle. Actually, I think it had Tail Whip, if I'm not mistaken. But, again, I could be wrong. But Thunder Shock is what it's going to have. If you're playing Pikachu, then he will have an Eevee with Tackle and Quick Attack. Oh, look at that. Look at that shock. Thunder Shock does have a chance to paralyze, so that's something to actually be worried about. But Pikachu's not that bad. His defenses are pretty crap, if I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, you worry about that. Oh yeah, also something about your partner Pokemon is that no matter which one you're playing, your partner Pokemon will not evolve. They don't want to. They just want to stay as they are. So, if you want another one of those Pokemon and want to get like a different Eevee evolution, you'll have to wait till Eevee is available to you in the wild. I know, what a shame. Maybe a battle like this is just helping you get stronger, huh, Charlie? Yeah, maybe you should just stay away from me. Oh well, that works too. Let's train hard so that someday we both make it to the Pokemon League. Yeah, you want to bet, pal? So yeah, you take down this route a little ways down, you'll be able to get access to the Pokemon League, which I believe is right over here. And it doesn't look like there's any hidden items around here because Taco's tail is not flailing around or wagging his tail like crazy. Oh shit. Stuff just got real with this epic music, guys. Oh man. Only truly skilled trainers can pass through here. You don't have a Boulder Badge yet. You must have it to get to the Pokemon League. Or rather, one of 8. Just listen to this music! It is so epic! And people say this game is trash. I don't know what people are thinking about. This game is so much fun. So yeah, that's actually everything that I want to cover for this video right now. I just want to show up Viridian Road, talk about the Pokemon you can catch around here, and just everything else in general. So I think that just about covers it up for what I wanted to do here. Next time on Let's Go, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, we're going to be heading up north of Viridian City onto Route 2, which will take us our way over to the next location of our very first gym battle. So that's pretty exciting. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys here next time for more Let's Go Eevee. Bye!